Even the smallest features are handled with care. Press X to doubt, especially... Like, come on. You can't put this... You can't put this after the embarrassing display during the collab, and then at the end of the note, say every feature is handled with care. Like, you can't go both ways. That's not how that works. So let us look at the dev notes. I'm pretty sure some of you already have seen some of it, though. Wait, what? Get on in here, so take off all your clothes. Assuming I'm not streaming already without clothes, huh? That's a bold assumption, Ragna. Don't you know what the biggest point of VTubing is? This is the greatest advantage. Scott uploaded a video called 9 Pages of Enrichment. This is where the fun begins. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like, here's the thing, right? Sky tends to be a little bit nicer than I am when it comes to these things. So let's have a look-see. So I'm the director, blah, blah, blah. I'm enriching this by putting stuff like I'm paid by the word count. Let's see. Yeah, I'm literally paid by the word count, it seems. As many of you have hoped for, the Stellar Blade collab will be added to permanent inclusion in the archives. I mean, sure, why not? Like, that's certainly going to help the loading screens for sure. So that's good. We're gonna be able to experience forever and ever the stupid lag caused by the Stellar Blade minigame. So that is going to be a very enriching experience. But let's see. Honestly, I'm not gonna shit too bad on this because it's nice to be able to have access to the Stellar Blade collab whenever we want. Even though we're probably never gonna touch it again once we've cleared it once. Of course, not all feedback during the collaboration was positive. That's putting it mildly. That is putting it very mildly. Because holy fuck, it was a shit show and a half. Due to character skill issues, solo raid was postponed twice, causing inconvenience to our dear commanders. We sincerely apologize for this. Hire QA and I'll start believing
permanently available.
QA system existed. When did they have? Yeah, I'm getting to it. So I'll believe it when I see it because I've already seen so many broken promises by them that this is the type of shit of it's like, yeah, spare me the crocodile tears. Like, we're way past that at this point. What makes Nikke's battle system unique is the integration of both 2D and 3D elements, though this sometimes can cause unexpected problems during development. No, I think it's your spaghetti. Like, I'm gonna be real with you. Like, we were talking about this earlier today. It's like, 2D and 3D does not justify a lot of the problems that the game has. Let's make it perfectly clear. 2D and 3 elements mixed together, sure, they can make making games a little bit tougher, but they do not justify the absolute blatant lack of QA. If you have a dot that is supposed to take like every half a second or a second, that takes like every almost 2 seconds, it's not an issue of 2D and 3D elements, it's an issue of having fucking eyes at this point. Like, they should go and see an ophthalmologist at this point. Like, there's a lot of the issues that we had were absolutely not related to this. And that's without going about the game being coded, you know, in their beautifully designed, you know, seconds per frame rounded to 3 decimals, which is absolutely not an issue of 2D and 3D elements. Like, come on, man. So, we have a new meme acquired, guys. Every time something shitty happens in the game, we gotta understand them, you know, chat? We gotta understand them. It's because it's very difficult to make a game that mixes 2D and 3D elements. Things don't line up with the timelines. It's because it's difficult to do 2D and 3D elements. Loading screens, 2D and 3D elements, you know. Oh, wait. Also, big spaghetti branch issues that make absolutely zero sense. You know, it's 2D and 3D elements again. Like, we gotta understand them, chat. Like, we gotta understand them. It's not exactly their fault. It's like, you know what this reminds me of? What this guy is saying. Imagine you guys go to a restaurant and you order some chicken. The server brings you the chicken, and you find it to be half raw and bleeding. And you're like, understandably, you'd be like, well, I'm not gonna eat this. Can you guys fix this? And the chef goes, oh, I'm sorry. It's because the new oven is really difficult to use. Would you guys really take that for an excuse? Let's real talk here, chat. Real talk. Would you guys take that as an excuse? And then when you send it back, they bring it back burnt, right? And they're like, yeah, it's just really difficult to use this new oven that we have. Yeah, no, you guys chose to use that oven. It's not my problem that you guys can't cook fucking chicken in it, right? Now, salmonella is surely not a real issue. Exactly. Tartar chicken, my god. I'm sorry, but the ice cream machine is working. Like, you would never take that as an excuse. So this is not an excuse. The way they made their game has lots of issues, and many of these emergent issues don't even have anything to do with 2D and 3D elements. Let's keep that real clean. Completely eliminating bugs is extremely difficult from a practical standpoint. That I do agree. The problem is you don't have QA, so it's not a matter of completely eliminating, because this is not the issue we have with the quality of Nikke at the moment. It is absolutely not the issue we have at the moment, because if you could eliminate like a good amount of the bugs, it would be nice. But this is not the problem. The problem is you guys are not even catching basic stuff that takes 5 minutes of gameplay to catch. Not even 5 minutes, like a couple of minutes of playing, and you already catch these issues. So we will strengthen our overall QA. I'll translate corpo for you guys. It means, oh shit, we really annoyed the Japanese audience this time around. Oh shit, we're actually going to have to put money into this instead of being cheapskates and cutting corners, because otherwise we're actually going to lose our whales, which they've already been losing very steadily because the overall earnings have been in a downward trend. But that's a different issue altogether. We will strengthen our overall QA system. Bull fucking shit you had a QA system in the first place. And we'll continue to prepare content with more caution and dedication. What was the name of that thing? Hold on, chat. I think we know what it is. We all know exactly where this is going. This is me right now reading this, not even into the developer's note itself. Like, come on, buddy. Like, we will strengthen our QA system. Bull fucking shit. I'll believe it when I see it. Gameplay updates. In August, we'll be launching the Solo Raid Hall of Fame, formerly named as Museum. The Museum is an archive gameplay where players can re-experience battles against past Solo Raid bosses. They're already adding them in the incorrect order, so I don't know what they're trying to do here, but sure. Challenge mode. The challenge mode of the past Solo Raid, allowing you to challenge the record of any player from that season. What I do wonder is how they're going to do this, because I'm gonna be real with you, right? Okay, so if we look at Solo Raid, right, at historic Solo Raids, as far as we can go, these don't have any data because they were way too early. Like Season 5, Season 6, we can probably top those pretty easily, right? Ultra as well, like these we can top them pretty easily. I'm just gonna be real with you guys. I don't think I can top whatever the rank 1 Solo Raid was at the time that easily in some of the more recent ones. I don't know about you guys, but I have a feeling that some of these might be a little bit difficult to top, even if we have some extra time. Call it a hunch, but I don't know. Do you guys think you can do 36 bill in Solo Raid? Just call it a hunch. Like, I have this feeling that it's gonna be a little bit difficult. Surely a free-to-play can hit 36 bill, it just means you didn't maul hard enough. Yeah, true. They say allowing you to challenge the record of any player from that season. I wonder if this means that, for example, you guys can just go on... what was it? Ice Dragon Saga, and you guys can randomly challenge my score in Ice Dragon Saga. Because that was like one of the few times I was actually fucked to try to get top 50 right. I actually do wonder if you guys will basically get a shot at my score, or if it's just like the top, like the, not even top 50, is like the top 10 or something. Because, I mean, it would be really funny to see you guys take a shot at it. Who the fuck asked for this system? Personally, I like it. Okay, so I'm one of the very few people that actually wanted something like this. I didn't care for a solo raid Hall of Fame. Like, I don't care about that. But I wanted to have a playground where I could play test and fight solo raid fights and just limit test team compositions and everything. I actually wanted to have something like this. And by them giving us the Hall of Fame Museum solo raid thing, it means that we can fight challenge mode bosses and limit test team compositions. Because, okay, here's the thing, right? The pool of Tyrant Raptors in the game is very, very limited. If you look at solo raid, right, we have already had multiple repeats of certain bosses. Either they got reskinned, so for example, Ice Dragon was Nihilister P2, or you had like literal fucking copy-pastes with Massive Object Q, or some rebrandings of certain ones like Material H, and then you have like the other Material H. You have the edited versions like, you know, Blacksmith and Whitesmith, as we call it, or Modernia versus Modernia, Fire Week, and so on. So the pool is very limited, and the idea that you can, you know, playtest forever on any of these bosses that have happened in the past means that you can prepare more efficiently for Solo Raid 2. Would mean you can fight even event-exclusive bosses too if you miss the event. That would be really nice for a lot of players that miss those frames, right? Because I've been playing since day one, so I don't give a shit, right? It doesn't concern me. I personally enjoy it because it gives a playground with no limits to just limit test team comps over and over. But for a lot of players, it could mean a way to get those past frames that they couldn't get. Now, they are calling it a replica, which means that they're going to be probably recolors or reskins to try to keep the exclusivity of the original frames. That is what I expect, because they really are underlying that they are replicas. Now, this could be a mistranslation, and they could just be saying that it's the exact same frame, right? I could be wrong on this. No limit mode. This mode is unlocked once you break the record of the top 1 player of the original solo raid challenge mode. Yeah, good fucking luck beating Tsukino and some of these other people in some of the original ones, because I can tell you that the amount of text used are, yeah. The stage level will progress according to damage dealt. Your total damage across 5 battles will be recorded in the ARC leaderboard, where you can get a small reward. I hope this become a fun daily activity. Oh, please, God, no. Please don't tell me they did what I think they did. Please tell me they didn't do what I think they did. I hope it's not going to become an actual daily activity. I'm gonna toss my mouse at the screen if this is something they did. There is no fucking way, right?
Remember, Allyane, you wanted this.
There's no fucking way, right? Like, this has to be a one-and-done thing and then just a playground, right? AI solo raid. My god, please don't. Please don't. It's best to keep expectations low, yeah. Like, as much as I love solo raid, this no limit mode and some of the wording fills me with absolute dread. Like, actual dread. Like, what the fuck do you mean by a fun daily activity? Okay, let's just keep expectations low. It's shift up after all. Based on the roadmap we shared early this year, campaign chapters 39 and 40 were originally scheduled to release in July, but the update has been rescheduled to early August due to preparations for Stellar Blade collaboration. At the surprise of absolutely nobody, they got a delay. We'll also finalize the update schedule for the surface content and inform you as soon as possible. At the surprise of absolutely nobody. Okay, raise your hand if you remember for how long the Champions Arena was in development. Raise your hand if you remember how long that thing was in development and how many times it got delayed. So this is... Oh, look, Champions Arena. You see that, chat? Champions Arena was there. Look at that. And this was back when I personally started making content in 2023, April. Look at that. Champions Arena, who'd have thunk? Other than that, we're continuously monitoring your feedback, bullshit, regarding Coordinated Operation 2.0. Bull fucking shit you are. If they were, they would know that we've been asking since the start of fucking... Like, ever since Rouge came out, and we saw that certain Nikkes require certain positionings by the design of the devs themselves, we have been asking over and over and over the ability to choose your position in the co-op. So bull fucking shit on that one. And there's also the issues with Coordinated Operation as well 2.0 that you can still get griefed really, really hard. Competitive game mode. Yeah, competitive, yeah. Like people trialing challenge mode. Yeah, it's super easy. All you have to do is hit a circle and the run is ruined. And they do it intentionally. The other thing they can do as well is to avoid getting flagged for AFK. They occasionally spam, and some even actually set up macros for that. They put a macro that clicks emotes. That way they stay AFK, but they are not flagged as AFK because they're emoting all over the place. But I don't care about that because I run with my union. It doesn't affect me, right, 2D? It doesn't affect me. It's still bullshit. Because not everyone is blessed with the environment of having Omni Alliance as a union. Or having like a good union that runs consistently co-op, right? Like, it's still a problem for the rest of the player base. Cookie probably remembers this. Weren't you... Wait, Cookie, weren't you watching when I was helping Mia? It was like during the collab, I believe. I helped Mia get top 10% in co-op, I believe. And one motherfucker was enough to grief the entire thing. Aside from simple surveys and community monitoring, I hope you guys are doing more than that, but we're constantly collecting feedback on areas for improvement through various channels and working on enhancement based on that input. I wonder what these channels are because you guys are missing a lot of improvements for your game. Like, a lot of improvements. We'll keep reflecting and refining our approach to make Nikke's content operations more meaningful. Oh, we got another meme, don't we? We gotta make the game more meaningful, chat. Are you guys ready to have a more meaningful existence through whatever bullshit they have cooked up? My god. I can't with their wording sometimes, man. 2025 H2 convenience feature updates. Starting July, we'll be introducing some convenience features related to anomaly interception. We understand that until now, players have found it unclear which bosses to target in anomaly interception. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Okay, it's fine. Some people don't understand which boss drops what and what they can get. I personally found it clear enough, but I've noticed that there's people that don't know, so that's fine. If the possible rewards of a stage include manufacturer equipment you don't own yet, the reward will be highlighted to help you easily identify. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's nice. Not everyone tracks their gear as closely as min-maxers do. As for August, there is no notable convenience feature update plans, so the entire game of August, you guys can go shove a fist up your ass. Since June, this large-scale collaboration project has taken a significant amount of the developers' team time and focus, so we hope you'll view the pause in convenience feature updates this August, along with the release of Cap-Page chapters 39 and 40, and the new museum gallery gameplay as a brief moment of rest for the team. Just hire more people. That's not our problem. That is literally not our problem. But don't worry, we will resume system. Also, you could just slow down the pace of release. I've been saying this for almost 2 years now. But sure. We'll resume with system improvements aimed at making your gameplay experience more convenient in September. Oh, so they will resume working on it in September. That bodes well. With a more organized development rhythm than before, we plan to more clearly define the priorities between the content we want to fix now and the content we want to change in the future. So basically, you guys can replace this word by nothing and this word by just about everything. The upcoming improvements in September are as follows. Tribe Tower Auto Challenge feature. So basically a feature from CN that CN got since day one and that had been asked for since way before CN actually was released. Now they're finally getting to it. Okay. I mean, I'll take it, but it's reactive. It's very little too late. We plan to ease the requirements for achieving buff chains in Simulation Room as shown below. Level 2, they reduce by 1. Level 3, they 3 plus 3, so they reduce by 3 basically. 6, they reduce by 2, and then 8, they reduce by 2. It's still not gonna change for overclock people that push infinite. It's not gonna change a lot of things for people that push infinite, but sure. You know what would have been way better than this? Allowing us to, I don't know, once we cleared Simulation Room in a new season, not have to grind them from scratch every single time, and just have like a buff collection where we can choose which buffs to use for Overclock and Overclock Infinite. You know, that would be nice. Like, not having to spend... what? How many hours do we spend every time on Overclock, chat? Just farming the fucking buffs. Like, let's... real talk here. How long do we spend every single time we have to do Overclock Infinite and Overclock Ratio 50 just farming the buffs? Because these changes for people that do Overclock are non-existent. These are improvements that only affect people that do the lower stuff. Like, there are a lot of things they could have done way sooner, realistically speaking. Especially because a lot of these things are things that have been in the feedback backlog. You know what this comes off as? I don't want to sound entitled, right? But they got burnt really, really badly with this collab, to the point that they have to underline multiple times that they're strengthening their QA, that they're restructuring how they're doing their developments and everything. They got burned so fucking bad between the collab and the CN release. They're doing it reactively as a way to, like, here, have this, leave us alone. It's like, no, you guys should be proactive about things. Like, this shit is not okay. Nikke level up synchro device convenience feature expansion. Couldn't they have released this in July? Or in August, instead of making it a no convenience month? Like, basic synchro from 5 to 25, that's literally 3 lines of code. We've seen them change that multiple times already. Removal of the cooldown period, again, that's stuff that they can just change with a couple lines of code, realistically speaking. New automatic Nikke placement feature, they could have just pushed this back a little bit further if it's that difficult to do. Same for the patch upgrade, but all of these are like CN things for the most part. I don't know about the automatic placement feature though. Automatic use of consumable items, I believe this is also a CN thing, but I could be wrong. All of this could have been, like, this entire thing, a good chunk of it could have been released in July or August. Like, I don't see why. Weapon tutorial improvements, okay. I will assume that they're not going to teach actual text, so... I mean, it's nice for new players, I guess. New type of mold. Type mold, a new kind of mold that can be obtained from Tribe Tower will be released. Type mold guarantees the recruitment of SSR Nikkes, and we plan to distribute it as an additional reward, while retaining the current Tribe Tower rewards. As Nikke has been running for quite some time now, we are currently discussing how to distribute rewards for cleared Tribe Tower stages and have yet to reach a conclusion. However, the overall reward amount will be increased and we will ensure that there are no shortages. You know, I've already offered a solution for this multiple times. I'll offer a new solution. For all the existing Tribe Tower floors, they could add retroactively a new type of mold that gives them guaranteed to all of the players. And then moving forward, the tower floors only have the guaranteed mold, but you get less molds as a whole, keeping the overall balance that they're trying to keep of how many SSR Nikkes and especially Pilgrims we get, but keeping also the guarantee so that people don't have the frustrations and dread that comes with doing the tower every time. Because I can tell you, a lot of people have burnt out on tower, especially Pilgrim Tower. They don't feel it. They feel it's completely pointless. And it also makes the shop things actually worthwhile. At the moment, if you buy molds in the shop, with the exception of some very specific ones, you're just gambling on the chances of getting an SSR Nikke. That's completely pointless. Like, people don't buy those because of that. Most of the people that buy those, they buy it for the core dust way back in the day, when people were wailing for Synchro. All you ever saw was R and blue there? Yeah, exactly. Like, people hate it. Like, people absolutely hate it. So many of these updates, just changing the value in a table somewhere, but they make it sound like it takes an army of Einsteins to figure out. Yeah, like, that's the thing, right, King? Some of these changes, they could have already pushed them now. But they choose not to. So it really... like, their entire thing really rings hollow at the end of the day. And that's one of the big frustrations with this that people have been having, is that a lot of the things that they're saying just rings hollow when you look into what they're saying versus what they're actually doing. Because that has been like a trend since the start of the game. They say they do something, and then you look at their actions and you're like, well, words and actions don't really match, so what's going on there? Consumable lock feature. How about... okay, this is nice, but we all know exactly what it's for. So the consumable lock feature is something that has been requested for almost a year now. And it started being requested a lot when they started handing out these type of things. Like the anniversary cake. Or the... whatever the fuck the name of it is, Rice is. What the fuck is that? You know, like all of these, first anniversary celebration cake, you know, these that are like more of a sentimental value collector thing, that's what those are for. Like that's where the request for this feature really ramped up. You know what would be really nicer than this? Something really nice would be if when you open this, you get a copy of this item with the message, and you get whatever is inside of it. And you permanently have this and you cannot consume it anymore. That would be nicer, wouldn't it? Where you just open these, you get the tickets, and you get an item that is a copy of this thing as a memento for, you know, for having been at the anniversary. Like, and as Shadow puts it, a lot of gacha games do that already. It's not like a revolutionary... like, wow, you know, like that meme of the guy, like, having his mind blown with a big bang, right? Like, it's not a revolutionary concept. Mark your favorite Nikkes on the list. Couldn't we... oh, this is for development, then, I guess? Okay, that's a nice feature. So, if I'm reading this correctly, it's like you can pin Nikkes that you want to focus on gearing up and scaling up. That's nice, honestly. Limit break and core enhancement batch feature. This feature will simplify limit break and core enhancement by reducing repetitive actions. That's fine. It's not like we do that very often though, but sure. Okay, out of sheer curiosity, how many of you are in a situation where are like, oh shit, I have 13 additional dupes of a Nikke that I need to put in one go on the Nikke. I don't think that's a very common experience, but it's still a nice feature to have, I guess. Especially for the whales. You gotta think of the whales. Nikke expressions list. Oh, this has been requested for a while too, actually. Where you can see the different expressions. I don't understand why this wasn't in the thing from the get-go. But it's nice that they finally added it. after a year and a half. Like, how long have they been asking for this? I'm pretty sure people have been asking for this since like almost the start of the game. Or at least since, yeah, like since the start of the game, haven't they? Like, they've been asking for it for a while now. Limit break, such a complicated mechanic, need to simplify it. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, how many of you find yourselves in this situation where it's like, oh, damn, I need to click 13 times in a row to get my max score Nikke in one go? Like, vast majority of the player base are not going to encounter that issue ever. But yeah. How about letting us choose what voice lines plays? Since that's also common. Yeah, like, it's super common in many gacha games, and that's why I was very surprised that UI, expression list and everything wasn't there from the get-go. Because there are games that allow you to pick which exact expression and pose and everything you want to have them in your lobby. Oh, thanks a lot for the follow. Much appreciated. Kodos, is that how you say it? Thanks a lot for the follow. I appreciate it. I've only included some of the major improvements today, or this developer's notes will be too long. I call bullshit on that, but sure. Various feature improvements and quality of lives are underway. We could probably take notes. I'm ready to eat my words if I'm wrong on that. I'll keep sharing updates through future developers' notes. Commanders will always listening to you. Press X to doubt. Even the smallest features are handled with care. Press X to doubt, especially... Like, come on. You can't put this... You can't put this after the embarrassing display during the collab, and then at the end of the note, say every feature is handled with care. Like, you can't go both ways. That's not how that works.